Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a Christmas tree. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Get us ready for the Christmas season. I've got my husband Mark here with me.
Hey there, everybody.
I almost said Mike. I don't know what was. He's man in chat. It's Mark. Man in chat today. I was looking at my mic when I said it. Sorry.
Right.
Let's get started. Alrighty. I think my face is red. A Fredrix archival watercolor canvas board. It's a mouthful. Got it's a 12 by 12 size. Really could do it any size you wanted to. I was looking at last year's that we did that were similar, and it's on a 10 by 10. So if you wanted to do like, you know, a companion piece, you might use the same size if you did this one last year. But I think I want to do a little bit bigger, so because I've got all these gifts at the bottom here that I'm probably going to simplify the gifts a little bit because there's a lot of them. But our brushes, we're going to be using Princeton brushes, and I'm just going to use probably mostly these Summit Series, 6100 Series, some Filberts, and some of the flats, and I've got the large Aspen 2-inch for the background, and then you're going to want something for snow, so either like a Deerfoot Stippler or a blender. These are the VelvetTouch line and called a blender, 3/8 inch, and then this one is the Deerfoot Stippler in the Select, and then a fan brush and possibly a toothbrush. Where'd my toothbrush go? Right here, for some snow. We got lots and lots of snow in this one, and then maybe just a brush or two that's got some smaller for the detail, the little ornaments and things. Let's go over our colors. I'll mention the brushes as I use them too. But thank you to Princeton and Fredrix, our canvas and brush sponsors. They're awesome.
Yes.
Carbon black, burnt umber, burnt sienna, yellow oxide, Indian yellow hue, cadmium yellow light, phthalo green, yellow shade. It's really large because I had to add water to it and made a mess. Phthalo blue green shade, ultramarine blue, dioxazine purple, quinacridone magenta, cadmium red medium, and cadmium orange. And then this is titanium white and zinc white, which is just a transparent white that's good for snow. And then our gloss glazing liquid. I'm going to give these one more spray here. And I'm going to start with a palette knife, and I'm going to mix up some of the blue for our background. Since we're going to be using so much of it, I figured it'll be easier than to try to mix it with the brush. So I'm going to use Phthalo blue. It's kind of a blue-gray, but on the green side, kind of more of a teal almost. So I'm going to use that burnt sienna with my phthalo blue green shade. And you can see already with my scrapes here that that's about the color, I think. It's probably 2 parts burnt sienna to 1 part blue. And that will just, anytime you're doing a Christmassy, like like a snowy sky kind of thing, adding just a little bit of like either a brown or a black to your blue will help it to kind of gray it out like a wintry sky. Added a little bit of the ultramarine blue just for an extra pop of blue, and I think that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to go ahead and just start with this 2-inch, just dipping the very tip of it in there so that water is going to wick up in here, but you don't want it soaking wet so that it's going to drip everywhere. So just a little bit of water on there. And then that's funny. That was a habit. Did you catch that?
No.
I wet down my brush. I did that. And then because I didn't do it in the right order, I did it again. It's a habit. It's more you paint, the more you'll start forming those kind of things. Or like it just doesn't feel right unless you do it just in a certain way. Look. Okay, sorry. I just realized I'd done that. It just cracked me up. All right, I'm going to get some white and add that. And yeah, I like that. That'll be pretty. So I'm going to start it fairly dark here. And I'm going to go ahead and spray with just a little bit of water on my canvas. I don't need too much, just a little bit. That'll just help it move around a little bit. Might even grab a little bit of the gloss glazing liquid because that'll also give it a little bit of fluidity. And also it has the golden gloss liquid has some extender in it. So I'm going to go about halfway down with this dark and at a diagonal. And leave all these nice streaks in there. And then up here at the top, I'm just going to grab my white and go straight to the canvas with it. And if it's not moving around, you can spray it again with water. As long as you're using like a fine mister, it won't leave any big water drops. You can spray as you're working, especially on a larger canvas. I usually would spray it at this point, you know, when you get a little bit ways down, because this paint will start to have kind of dried and get sort of sticky. So, all right. Just very lightly. Once you get the paint on there, then you can very lightly kind of just blend over it to kind of smooth out any rough spots like that. Okay, and that's pretty much how I want to leave it for our tree. It's got all this really pretty stuff going on here. I'm sorry, my phone's going off here. I forgot to mute it. Pause for hello, everybody. Glad to have you joining us tonight.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you too,
I'm glad to be here.
Mike. That's funny. I looked co-host. Straight up at the microphone when I said that, and I was like, nope, that's not right. Almost said Mike.
I will add that to the list of names that I've been called.
Yeah, somebody left a comment that I thought was pretty funny. They were like, he sounds just like Cinnamon's husband. And I'm like, are you thinking that's the same person? And you're like, he just goes between gigs and like,
I think
it sounded suspiciously like she was accusing us of something. I'm like,
I think it's more like her husband sounds like me.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think you guys sound alike at all, but that's just, you do get called his name a lot, though.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
And I'm sure vice versa. Yeah. It's been a while, but for a while there when I was first on YouTube, when Cinnamon Cooney and I were first, we were kind of some of the pioneer art channels on YouTube here. And, I would have people come into my group posting her art, you know, saying, thank you, Cinnamon. I'm like, no, wrong person. Close. And I'm sure she had the same exact thing. It's funny. I get it. There's a lot of art teachers out there. But we're glad for the ones that have stuck around and come back weekly and join us for these shows. Yes, exactly.
They're all amazing.
Oh, thanks. All right, there we go. So adding the white down here at the bottom, got a nice like snowy feel to it. And before that dries, or, you know, you can let it dry if you want to. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to speckle it with, actually probably should let it dry, but Mark's going to go dry this. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to tempt fate here and go ahead and splatter. I'm going to use the thinned out paint and toothbrush, so it'll give me smaller little bits. That'll be good. You can test it on your plate or something. When you're using a toothbrush, you want to hold it in your fist with your thumb just where it can reach the top corner, and then point it down where you're going, because whatever direction you're pulling it, the paint's going to go in the opposite direction. So if I'm holding it like this or like this, it's going to go that way. It's not going to go on my canvas. So you got to turn your wrist so that it's pointing straight down at the canvas. And I'm going to start there, the very fine mist, and then you can go a little bit thicker or a little bit heavier with the paint, a little bit thinner with the water. So heavier with the paint on the brush, a little bit thicker application on the brush, and then a little bit thinner paint, and you get bigger splatters. See that? Nice. So if you're having trouble and it's not coming off your brush, then or toothbrush or whatever you're using, then just add a little bit of water, and that should do it. Do it for you. I'm going to give that to Mark, and he's going to clean that out. And okay, there's a lot of air in it. It'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to take most of the paint out of there that I can, and just wet that down. I'm going to leave that toothbrush off to the side, and then same thing with this. Just going to get some water in it. You just don't, usually what I'll do is just take this to the sink instead of try to clean it in my water jar, because what it'll do is just kind of muddy up your water jar before you even started painting and get it full of paint. So I'm going to just grab a bunch of water on there and just set it off to the side here and just keep it moist and keep it wet so that it doesn't dry out. Mainly you're worried about the paint in here that's seeped down in here. It'll seep down underneath this metal part. It'll look clean up here potentially, and then but it hides down in there. And then if it dries in there, then acrylics will make your brush expand out, and they'll ruin it. So after the shows, I always take my brushes, rinse them out really well in the sink, and then use some Dawn dishwashing liquid or something really mild, and just really clean them really well to get all of the soap. And I work that soap up in here to make sure that I get any of this trapped paint that's up in there, and then lay them flat to dry. Don't leave them upright to dry. Don't leave them in your water, because the water will expand the wood in the handles. So it'll seep all the way through and get up into the handles. And then when that wood in the handles expand, it'll crack your paint. And thus this happens right here. So even when you're being careful, it'll happen. So you can tape it up if you need to. I have this one taped, but I've been getting better about it. Well, no, that's one's done too. So don't look at those. That'll be fine. Just, yeah. All right. I'm going to clean off my palette, or actually I'm going to kind of wet that down so I can keep those colors in case I need to use them later, but I'm going to clean off this part here so that I have a space to mix my other colors. Now, I think that with this reference photo, it's very like green and red and gold. That's it. And I think that I added the full rainbow colors because I kind of wanted a little bit more colorful. I don't know how far on the colors, scale I'm going to go. I'm not going to go super crazy with it like I did last year, I don't think. But I want to get I just wanted them out just in case I get to that point and decide I need a little more color. So if I do it, thank you. Like my hair's been falling out everywhere today.
Where's my hair?
I've been finding them. Oh, yours too? Okay. Sorry. All right. I am having trouble here with my paper.
All right. So what did we talk about, Mike? About
brush cleaning. What did we talk about when we were gone?
No mic talk?
No, okay. I was talking about my new host, Mike. Co-host. Okay, so there we go. We've got this nice dark blue. I probably could have gotten a little bit darker, now that it's dried, you can kind of see, but if you want to, you could, glaze a little bit. It would tint your snow back here, but that's not going to hurt anything. And then you can just do it again with your snow. And I'll probably do another layer of snow too, but let's go ahead and start on our tree here. All right, so to draw it, I'm just going to go ahead and use some chalk. And we're going to pretty much just place it right in the middle here. So I'm just going to kind of start by figuring out where I want my gifts and things to go. So I'm going to put them kind of in here. Somewhere in here like that. And I'm going to do fewer boxes, I think, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I'm ending up doing them all. That looks good. I kind of want it to do a... I might make this one a little smaller. I don't know, we'll see. So I want it to be about the width of the tree, or just a little bit wider than the tree. So however wide you do your presents, then kind of figure out sort of where your outer points of your tree are going to be. And then just, it's kind of just a point of, you know, however, whatever shape you want it to be. So if you want it to be really, really narrow at the top, or if you want it to be a little bit fuller, this one's like a little bit fuller starting up at the top. And doesn't have as many like ins and outs, but I really like that kind of shape when it kind of goes in and out more than this one. It doesn't just kind of go straight down. So I'm going to do a little bit more with it there, leave a little bit more gaps in between some of these, and then that looks good. I think that'll work. Okay, that'll work. And then I'll mark my presents once I get my green on there. So I'm going to grab my, I think I'm going to use the Filbert, 6 Filbert here. And that's the 6100 Summit series. And, okay, before I start, I was going to mix also some greens. So I'm going to get pretty good amount of green because I'm going to need, you know, a lot for my tree. And I'm going to use a little bit of purple, a little bit of black, and make a really nice dark green here. Look how dark that is. That'll be really nice. You really do need it that black. You need it almost black. So it was kind of almost equal parts black, purple, and green, or like the black and purple were almost equal parts. Purple just gives the green a little bit more richness, I find. Okay, so there we go. Then I'm going to use the middle green here, and I'm going to add a little bit of Ultramarine Blue and my yellow. The Ultramarine Blue will make it a little bit more of an olive toned green. We've got the green base there, so we're not changing it too crazy. We're just kind of making it a little bit more olive toned, a little bit more yellow, slightly yellowed. There we go. In fact, I think I'm going to just use just Ultramarine Blue and a little bit of yellow. See what we come up with there. And we'll just have several greens that we can work with. And if we mix them ahead of time, then we can grab them quickly, and because we're going to have lots of layers on the tree. So just save us time, and then we won't have to mix and remix the same greens over and over again as we use them up, hopefully. So this is the same colors right here, only this one had the phthalo green in it and a little bit of that darker color. And I might add just a little bit more of that darker color so that it's kind of a mid between these two. Okay. Let's add a little bit of burnt sienna to this too. I feel like it's still a little too bright. There we go. Okay. You know how that pine tree sometimes has that kind of a reddish brown tone in it as well. So that looks good. Okay. And then we'll do just a little bit of the green and mostly yellow. And I still have these other colors in here. I'm going to even use a little bit of the Indian Yellow Hue, which will tone it down, make it a little bit more neutral, because it's got a little bit of an orangey tone, so it'll react with any kind of blue that's in that green. That orange and blue being opposite on the color wheel. They neutralize each other. You could also use red with this green if you wanted to neutralize it that way. That works as well. And then let's grab the rest of this white here. And I'm going to have a nice light green. Maybe add a little bit of our phthalo blue. Beautiful. Okay. So there we go. Got several tones of greens, green blue, green yellow to work with. Okay.
Got a quick question for you.
Sure.
They would like to know, have you ever tried any of the Princeton Snap brand of brushes?
I have not, no. I've used the Select, which are similar, I think, in quality, and they worked fine.
Okay.
I find the Princeton are pretty good. I mean, I haven't come across any of their brushes that I haven't liked yet. So,
well, that's a good thing.
yeah. You know, I would say that they will vary in what they can do, though. You can't expect a $2 brush to do the same as a $5 or $10 brush will do, because they're using different quality of, it may be constructed well, but the quality of the bristles may be a little bit different, so that they won't have as much snap, or they may wear out a little faster. They're not as resilient, that kind of thing. So I find that buying a better brand saves you money in the long run. That's been my experience. You buy the best you can afford and take really good care of it, and it'll last you years versus, spending a little bit of amount on a cheaper brush and then ending up having to replace it in a year. So, all right. I'm going to use this darkest color here, and I'm just going to kind of map out my main shapes in my tree. And I'm just using the edge of my brush here, and I'm just going to kind of start out by kind of tapping in towards the top, and then in the middle here I'm going to, for the most part, fill it in, especially around this stem. I can leave a little bit of open spaces, but not much. What were you going to say, Ann?
I was going to say that if you're starting out painting and you're not sure if it's something that you're going to really enjoy, I can understand them,
right,
paying a little less. But once they realize, hey, this is something I'm going to want to do,
right,
one of the good investments is to getting into a good set of brushes.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can go over to the brush guys.
That's true.
Get the link down below.
And Blick also sells the Princeton brushes, so I have a link to Blick down the description. I found that they have really good prices too, so either one of those is really good. If you use the brush guys, I have a code to use. If you use my Blick link, we get credit for the sale. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but they give us a little bit of a thank you gift for sending them business. So I've used Blick for years, and also the brush guys, so both of them. If you're just buying brushes, I would just go with brush guys. It'd be easy. But if you're getting paints and other things, then Blick has all kinds of different. They've got the canvases and all that stuff too. So
yeah, and you've made it easier on the brush guys having those sets for
true.
beginners.
Yeah, they can get the sets that I use. They have a beginner and an intermediate set that use my most used brushes. So that is something that you can't get anywhere else. We've worked with them.
But thank you for supporting us.
Yes, especially with Christmas coming up. We appreciate you using our links and things in our video descriptions and on our website FAQ page. We have a link list of all of the different affiliates that we have, including Arteza that we just did videos with last week.
So did you know that brushes fit really nicely in stockings?
Ooh.
Yeah. And so do tubes of paint.
True.
Canvases, not so much.
Unless you got the little ones.
That's true. All right, back to paint trees.
Yeah. So see what I'm doing here? Just trying to create these kind of layers of working from top to bottom here. That's how the trees, you know, they have these little clusters of branches that stick out. The ones that are coming straight at us, if you kind of think of it like your hand, you're seeing it from the side here. We're seeing all of these fingers of the branches. And of course, they're not all, you know, lined up like this, but you get the idea. But as they're pointing towards us, we're only going to see like a line of, you know, maybe they're kind of, you know, not in a full row, but, you know, you might see it like this, where you're seeing like individual tips of them that are kind of coming at you. And then you might see the end of the branch like this. So these ones here, we're going to kind of be more like this as they're coming down at us. And we're seeing the edge of the brush. And I'm kind of rounding these off a little bit. I kind of like that rounded look for this tree. I don't know why, but I've done them different ways. You know, you can use a fan brush if you want them real fuzzy. I'm kind of stylizing this one a little bit, keeping the bristles kind of clustered. I just like the look of it. A little bit more painterly, I guess. I don't know what the word is, but kind of.
So, real quick, is your brush kind of rounded or is it like
yes,
straight
it's the
edge?
Filbert.
Okay. And it's a number 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Asking for a friend.
Right. Because you were listening the whole time.
Well, I did, remember? I said 6.
You did.
I knew that's what it was.
Good job.
I'm just trying to cover for some people in chat who aren't paying attention.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
It's all right. They were probably enjoying chatting with their friends.
Exactly. It's usually me that doesn't know what's going on.
What?
It's usually me that doesn't know what's going on.
Right. Nobody comes here to listen to me anyways. They're all here to chat with Mark. So.
Or Mike, whoever you want to chat with.
Exactly. Whatever the name of the day is. All right. Just got to let that dry a little bit. I kind of went thick and I really darkened up this middle area here. I may even go over it again with a little bit of black. But let's go ahead and work on our packages. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll use this one. This is a too bright. And I'm going to get some burnt umber and yellow oxide and burnt sienna. And these gold packages that are under here are pretty dark. I'm going to add a little bit of the Quinacridone Magenta to it also. Okay. And go straight up and down with your, if they're facing us. Then you can angle them away from you a little bit. And then have one side be a little bit lighter. So get a little bit lighter color for the other side. We'll have our light source coming from this direction. So this side is lit up a little bit more than this side over here. Oh. I'm going to have snow at the bottom here too, so I don't really have to worry too much about that being just so. The yellow oxide's a pretty good color for the gold. Add a little bit of white to it. Maybe a little bit of the Indian yellow hue to... no, maybe some red. Let's get some Quinacridone Magenta. I want want it to be a little bit more, yeah, reddish. Okay, that's good. And then a little highlight right there. You know, I feel like it's almost green. I'm going to get a little bit of green. I don't know what I'm seeing here. I'm just going to play with it a little bit until I get the gold, the color that I want it to be. Okay, and then okay. I'm going to get the white. Really highlight right here. Kind of that edge of the package and top corner. And I'm trying to kind of blur it a little bit so it's not so like just perfect, you know, trying to muss it up a little bit almost. Here's the ribbon coming across. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that all the way out. There's gonna be another package right here, so. And then it's really dark right where this package meets up with it, so put in that shadow right there. Okay. Mix in a little bit of the burnt umber, or I'm sorry, the Quinacridone red with the cadmium red. I don't know where I got burnt umber from. Again, don't really worry too much about that front edge. Do a angle back. Really having a hard time like doing this and not with this angle without picking it up. Really want to pick it up. I'm probably going to have to get the right angles on it. It's hard to get a decent angle without moving it around. Okay, so this edge right here is going to be back here, and then this and this will be parallel. I'm sure you've all drawn a box at some point. We're working out here. I'll just let that dry. This one, this side's a little lighter for some reason, so just have the light. Who knows? I'm gonna get that burgundy, Quinacridone Magenta, a little bit of black. Quinacridone Magenta, black, a little bit of that red, get dark cherry red. I'm going to use it right on that corner there. Okay. Then, let's see over here, we've got a package coming up this way. This one's easy because it's all just an angle. And if you want to get fancy, you could put decorations on them. You know, you could do whatever you wanted to. I do like the kind of the simplicity of the just red and gold here. I think that one needs to come a little bit higher. Goes up in front of that tree. I'm going to get a little bit of the black and add it to that dark gold color and go right up underneath the rim here, there, and around that corner, back. And then under the ribbon edge right here as it comes down. Okay, that's gonna really set it up, set it off, make it look realistic. I'll go ahead and add a little dark to this edge of the red box too. Okay. And a little bit of corner here. Actually, this is in front of it right here, sorry. Moving it over. And make sure you spray everything. Yeah, I kind of like that greenish tone in there, so add in a little bit of the green. I'm not going to make this box quite as big as it is in the picture. Okay, and then it's kind of hard to tell where the bottom of these are because they're overlapping with the snow, so I'm not going to worry too much about the bottom. Okay, it's kind of lifted up. There's a little red package at the bottom of it.
So far, I think all those gifts are for Liam.
Pretty much, that's, yeah, pretty much Liam is the only one that we've bought for him.
Yeah, we're not going to have a repeat of last year. Poor guy was overwhelmed.
Yeah. We're gonna try. We're gonna try not to.
Okay, this is true. We'll try.
We're grandparents. It's our job to buy too much presents. Plus, sadly, not sadly, but, you know, I feel bad because his birthday is right after Christmas. So I feel like anybody who has their birthday right after Christmas kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Well, all I have to say is that he better enjoy it while he can, while he's the only grandchild.
True.
Because then he won't be the favorite anymore.
What?
He won't be the favorite anymore.
Why?
Well, because I don't have favorite kids or grandchildren, so they'll,
Oh, I see.
he's going to have to share.
So right now
share
he's
the
the
title.
favorite until you
Right.
get a second one, and then he'll just be one of many. Hopefully.
No pressure out there, kids.
No. All right, there we go. Our red bow there. And I haven't added the shading or anything to it. I'm just kind of trying to get them laid in here first. I'm going to come back and add details to them later. Yeah, let's make this one long. I'm going to make this long and low.
So have you started shopping for me yet?
I have not.
Asking for a friend?
What do you want? You're the worst to shop for. This is Mark. Do you need some pants? Oh, I already have like one pair. It's all right. What about some shoes? No, these ones are fine. Like, okay, give me something. Like,
I mean, really, how many pairs of pants can I wear at one time?
true,
Right.
true. As opposed to me, who's like, do you have that color? I don't have that color. I have that same style, but I don't have it in that color, so I probably could use it.
I have a light blue number 2, not light blue number 3. So
Right. Right. That's my philosophy. So I'm not a frugal shopper.
I thought of something. I usually think of things while I'm driving to work, and then I can't write it down or do anything, and then I forget what I thought of. So I'll try to remember.
So you forgot what you thought.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as your jack-o'-lantern story. It's like, oh, I thought of something.
That was spot on.
I thought of something that I want.
That I can't remember.
But I can't remember what it is. But I thought I did think of something.
I remember.
Okay, well, you let me know when you remember what it is.
Hey, I remembered. I forgot something.
That is a start.
See.
Forgot something. Oh my gosh, I love it. If you're new, sorry, we do this. We talk about random stuff while I paint. You're just in for it. I apologize. Don't leave me mean comments. I know it's a problem. I know.
Sorry.
You're in the studio with us. This is what I would be doing if we were. Honestly, I would be in here by myself. So you're lucky he's in here with us. That's all I'm saying. Don't leave me mean comments, because Mark, they're probably like, that's why we pay for Thursdays.
Exactly. It's our whole marketing scheme right there. If I'm annoying enough, they'll pay to not listen to me.
No. It's funny. When I first started on YouTube, people left me messages about my nails all the time. I don't get as many things about my nails, even though they're not great. But what were we going to say?
Oh, I just put up the link real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Your nails, your voice.
Yeah, my voice. I used to get comments about my voice all the time.
I've recently gone through and logged all of the videos.
Yeah, I tried.
And I could definitely tell the ones that you were trying to change your voice. And
I went through a bad
I'm glad that you're
season there.
Over that.
Yeah, I just decided it wasn't me. It didn't sound like me. It sounded terrible. So I have a scratchy voice. That's just it.
There it is.
It's called vocal fry, and I'm aware of it, but pretty much just how I talk. All right. It's not affected. The affected part is when I tried not to have it. That's when it didn't sound so great.
Here, let me play.
Adding some dark.
I'll play with the equalizer over here and see how that works.
No, it's okay.
I can add some effects to it.
No, it's all right. Okay. Well, just kind of playing with the colors here now. I need to add a little bit more over here, another color. There's another gold. I don't like the gold boxes that much. I'm going to add another red one. We'll go with a dark red. A little bit of the black. A little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot. A little bit of black, a little bit of the Quinacridone Magenta and the Cadmium Red Light, or Medium, I mean. Okay, I'll probably put a small gold box in here somewhere, but do a red one this way. Flattened out diamond. And then nice and dark, and just parallel this line. I kind of think, I don't know, I do like the presents. It's a lot of extra work. So if you don't want to do them, I think it looks great without it too. So just leave it up to you to decide whether or not you want to suffer through this. No. Go through this little detail. It does look good, but it can be tedious. All right, I think that'll work. Kind of has bookend red ones, and then we'll add a lot of snow and everything on top and around them, and some package details. But we'll put a big gold bow on there to pull the gold in over there. But I think that'll be good. Let's go ahead and use the, I'm gonna dip that in water, make sure it doesn't dry. Both of those. All right, so this is dry enough now. I'm gonna take my damp, no, that's still wet right there. So just to be careful around that. I'm just gonna wipe off my chalk marks. There we go. Really like this dark color in the background here. I think it works really well. So let's go ahead and add our next layer onto our tree. And I think I'm going to use a little bit smaller Filbert this time. This is the 4 instead of the 6 that we started with. And we've got all these nice colors here. Make sure that you keep those wet while you're waiting. And I'm just going to go to this next step down in intensity. And it's not going to show up all that much, but you'll be able to see it a little bit. So, and you can use it, it's dark enough, you could use it outside the lines too. Like as far as, you know, making its own branch and that kind of thing. And this is where I'm going to try to kind of create some areas of dark and light. So leave some nice dark areas, move around. start. This is not going to be super noticeable, so we're not changing much, but that's just kind of the tone of it. Adding another layer of color in here. There we go. Now go kind of in between these two and feel like that's the color I need. And now just kind of dabbing very lightly. See that? Creating little nooks of color. Leave a space. Create another layer of branches. Leave a space. Another layer. Leave a space. So we got to have room for our ornaments to go too. So we need some dark little areas for our ornaments to live. Just if you get too much, you can go back in with the dark color there. Okay, I like that. Just changing the direction. As we get about halfway down, I'm going to start to pull down with my branches instead of up. See that? Kind of still going up along the edges, but kind of in the middle here. You can take your time. Really kind of think about where you're placing these. I tend to crowd and cover up all my dark areas. It's just how I do. So I have to really stop myself and think about whether I need to put some color there or not. And usually it's not, but I do it anyways, so yeah, so just watch yourself there. If that's something that you tend towards, you may have to go like 2 more brush strokes and that's it. You know, limit it. And then step back and look at it. And okay, 2 more. And step back and look at it. Once you get close to the end there, you know. Okay, I'm going to go over my packages a little bit now. Now that I got them in here, I can kind of set them in. All right, that looks good. All right, so let's, now that we've got that in there, let's go ahead and get a small round here, and we'll start putting in our ornaments. And I'm going to use the red, and this, I've got this dark burgundy, so this will be perfect for our red ornaments. So I'm going to start out with the little red ones. Just space them around. And then while they're wet, I'm going to grab some of this dark and just kind of put it at the bottom. Like that. And they're not all the same size either, so you can do, and you could do, you know, if your colors are gold and silver or something like that, you could use like a blue for your silver. I'll be doing some silver ornaments. Think about silver will pick up the colors around it, so it's like a mirror almost. So you would, you know, have some green in there and some, the gold will be doing that too. So we'll be putting in some greens and reds and things in our gold ornaments that are reflecting in it. Okay, let's get that dark. coming around the side and kind of just dabbing it. See that? Okay. Got this darker color here. There's some hearts in mine, but I'm not really gonna do the hearts thing, I don't think. But I thought I might do some like little stars or something, or maybe even some garland. I kind of like the idea of having some like tinsel garland coming through or something. So maybe we'll do some silvery garland, or I don't know. What does chat say? What do they want to see? Anybody?
Stickman.
They don't. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you need to draw me one then. We'll do it at the end of the show. The Return of Stickman.
Dun dun dun.
He's been out for several.
He's been on a walkabout.
Yeah. And honestly, the main reason why I did it is because we would do Stickman. Stickman was Mark's creation, and if you've been around our show before, we've done him years ago. It was just Mark's way of kind of joking that that's his art, you know. That's his level of art, was Stickman. And so I would take Stickman and, well, you'll see. But it always ended up that I was working on Stickman. You know, they do the like little video previews. It was like every time it was me doing Stickman. And I'm like, okay, I got it. That I don't know why it was picking Stickman, but it was like I think there was a timing, you know, because they do it at like a certain time in the video, and it always just kind of was like right after while you were drawing, I would pull it out and be doing it. And I was like, okay, so we're going to do it at the end. So if you've been missing Stickman, you're going to have to just wait till the end.
Ooh, teaser.
Mark will do the super chats, and I'll do Stickman. Here, I'm going to move it over this one. I don't know. I don't think I have it anymore.
One of these over here.
I honestly don't know. I don't know where it is.
Well, it was from one of these types of paper.
Yeah.
We're so prepared. We're so professional.
I know. I didn't think about it until you said it.
I didn't think about it until somebody said it in chat.
It could be up there.
They were individual papers at one time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I saw the video where.
Well, I've got a small notebook down here that you can use. I think right there. That might be it.
Okay. I'm going to use it regardless.
Okay. I'm giving these packages a second coat if they need it. every now and then you're going to need to clean out your brush because it'll get kind of gummed up. And that paint will start to dry and it'll keep it from flowing. So, do one here. So everywhere I'm seeing the hearts, I'm going to put these ornaments instead.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but did you guys ever string popcorn when you were growing up?
Yeah, we did. We did that, and we would make garlands out of paper chains. But yeah, we would string garland, string popcorn. You and I did that for a while too when we first were married. I remember doing that with you. Black hair with the magenta and
I remember doing it. I just don't. I know I did it growing up, but I don't remember doing it with you. But
yeah, we did it.
sure, yeah.
We did it when we were first married. Before we could afford real ornaments. Mm-hmm. We got to do something to fill up the tree.
Yeah.
And now it's all the rage now. It's like all that kind of crafty Christmas stuff is back. Makers. Sorry, it's not crafts, it's makers.
Right.
No,
just one.
Makers.
Creators, makers. Just one tip.
What?
Just don't save the strung popcorn for next year's tree. It doesn't keep well.
Does he? You know from experience.
I'm just saying.
Just saying for a friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's pro tip.
Right, I'm going to get a little bit of red here. Add it to the gold. This is the yellow oxide and white. And I've added the cadmium red to it. And then we're just going to put in some gold ornaments. And like I said, you could do whatever colors you wanted to here. I think the main thing is to like kind of be random about the placement. Like I tend to like try to evenly space all of these, but I think it looks better if that like some of them are just slightly closer to another ornament, or but I definitely think that it helps if they're not completely lined up with one another. So kind of keep an eye on that, like random placement. Do some of these smaller, some of them bigger. And it's okay if they pick up the green from the tree too, because the tree will reflect in this. They're shining the, metallic will pick up the green, so you can use that dark green from the tree as your reflection color on these. A little bit of burnt umber too. I'm going to get a little bit of burnt umber. Burnt umber or red. We'll add highlights too, so this is going to look worse before it looks better. So just kind of know that going in, that these are not going to look shiny yet. We haven't added our highlights, but once we do, they'll perk right up. All right. Looking good so far though. I like it. So far so good. Okay, so let's see. I want one here, one here. Here, one here, and then here and here. Okay. You you could use chalk or something too to mark those out. Kind of probably help to have it planned out a little bit more than I'm being a little bit brave here by just doing it without a plan. So I have a general plan in my head and a reference photo, but I'm not really going by the reference photo anymore because it's obviously not looking exactly like this. Those are very watery. And if you have trouble making circles, you could use a stencil for this part, or you could even use the back end of a large brush and just dot it in, and then come back through and add your highlights, you know, dots. In fact, I might dot. You can see the difference between these ones that, you know, have the shadow in them and the ones that don't. Makes a big difference. Kind of makes them look like they're set down into the tree when you add that good shadow in there. To get that burnt umber, a little bit of green. I'll just use that. If you want to, you can put some that are kind of half hidden too. There are some that way in our photograph, or you can just do these, and then when you do your green, you could cover them up a little bit. All right, that looks good. So, do you want to do like popcorn? Let's do popcorn, girl. And why don't we? Speaking of, let's go ahead and do some white and some of the yellow oxide color, that gold color that we were using. Here we go. That's cute. Good idea, honey. And just think about where the natural spacing would be. We don't have to do them everywhere. I'm just kind of dotting little pieces, leaving space between them. You could do like cranberries in there too if you wanted like a little red dots. I might add some red dots to it. Maybe do like that. Cute. And again, like really think about your placement, make it really random, natural looking. Yeah, that's fun, huh? I like it.
Thanks.
Now, of course, we're going to have to, you know, they look like pasted on right now, so we're going to have to darken them up where they kind of go down in. Otherwise, they're just going to look like they're stuck on here, you know. But that won't be too hard. Just add some darker colors. Fun. Okay. There we go. Got a really good random pattern going on there. And then let's get the burnt all my browns here. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, black, a little tiny bit of black. Some of that gold. Trying to think of what colors are in the dark part of the popcorn. Is it black?
It's brownish.
Brownish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's not going to be on all of them, so. But make sure we kind of darken up where they're going down into the, see, done, not done. See the difference? Just darken up a few of them where they're kind of hiding in the branches or, you know, getting overlapped. And we'll add branches over the top of this too, so it'll kind of a little bit more natural. I need to add some more of the reddish gold and get some of that brown too. Reddish gold brown into my gold ornaments. A little bit darker, just along the outside edges. What time is it? 11:07. Okay. I need to get moving here. Mark's coming over and dealing kisses.
Yeah. Well, somebody had asked about where the trunk was, but I can see in your reference photo you really can't see the trunk.
No, it's actually coming down here. Yeah, I need to probably put it there because it's
Your gifts are so
my
low.
gifts. Yeah, my gifts. Or I can bring my branch down here.
Or is it GIFs?
Harsh.
Thank you very much. Still looking for my jingle bells. I can't. Don't know what I did with them.
Probably stole them.
You stole them?
Probably to do something. Who knows? I might have given him to Liam or did something with it. I feel like.
Okay, we gotta get some more jingle bells.
But yeah, that's a good point. It does need a tree trunk or some more stuff down here just to kind of hide it. Bring it down. I'm just going to bring the whole thing down a little bit. In front there. But yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get my brighter greens now. I'm going to use this round brush here that I was just using. I'm going to kind of draw in and overlap, create some little highlights in and around all my decorations here. I can use kind of the combination of several colors, but nestle those ornaments in and create some movement. Okay, don't touch that dark area, Ange. So I'm like, oh, there's a dark area. Let's need to go. Need to cover it. It needs to be bright. No, it doesn't. We need the dark in order for the light to look bright. If you do everything light, then it doesn't look bright anymore. It's all bright. And everything looks flat. So you gotta have those dark areas in order for the bright areas to really pop. I know this, and I still do it.
Maybe we teach it.
I know. I try. It's just my go-to. So I'm trying to get better. I've only been painting for 30 years. I'll get it one of these days.
Practice, practice, practice.
It just tells you. Everybody's got certain things, you know. I don't think I'll ever stop learning and hopefully progressing and getting better. I do like doing paintings like this a year later, you know, like so I could take the lessons I learned from last time I did this and kind of apply them and maybe hopefully do a little bit better job. You know, painting live, I don't have the ability to edit and go back in and rework something. It's got to get it right the first time, you know, which doesn't always happen. So I do my best,
And
but
that's okay.
you know,
There's no bonus points. There's no competition.
true.
We're just doing this, and you're showing people how to paint and how to learn to work through issues or challenges or change something they don't like, and that's what it's all about.
Yes. Okay. I like it. Let's put on some bows and things on our packages. These are all pretty much gold. So get that gold that we had working before. A little bit of red in it and white, yellow oxide. I haven't used the orange yet, but I don't know if I need it. Let's do a big bow on him. So this dark side here is gonna need this brown. Okay. And then in order for it to not look flat, you gotta have some sort of contrast. So we're gonna add some light, white. My dark. Burnt sienna black with this color, just really dark. I don't like it. Too dull. I'm trying to get it a little bit more orangey. Gold, You can add a little bit more of that red to it. The problem with gold colors in general is that they don't get that dark. Like even your dark areas, like on the reds, your dark areas are almost black. But on these, your dark areas are really not that dark. They're kind of light. So you're going from, you're only working with like maybe 3 values instead of 5 or 6 values, just the light and darks the value scale that you're working on. So I am trying to get that bow looking good. It's giving me difficulties. I really wish I had left you alone right now. Just going. Really wish I had just left this alone. It looked better before I started messing with it. I feel like it needs to be more angular. I've got it like too perfect bow-like. And it needs to just, it's kind of messy in the picture. I'm trying to clean it up, which it's really not. Okay, I'm going to see if I can wipe this whole thing off. Look at that. Looks so much better. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just do a straight line through it. I'm not going to do a bow in there. That's good enough. Yep, that's better. Sorry. If you were hoping to see how to do a bow, this is not the day. Apparently, I don't have it in me. On short notice. It ain't happening. Alright, so there's just adding the highlights to the gold, really making this.
Yeah, I've got some areas on my midsection here. Can you just wipe off and make straight?
I wish.
No.
Not on you, on me. Wish that worked. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I feel like this boat, no wonder I covered up half of it. It's like I feel like this box is not the right shape, but I covered up part of it. All right. We'll do a bow, or not a bow, but a ribbon on this guy. Okay, then let's, I wiped this guy off. Sorry. You need me back in there. That's good enough. All right, let's add some snow. Just want to get this. And, oh, it's not wet anymore. Okay, we got a little bit. I'm going to start with the dark, so you need to have some contrast. So I'm going to darken up right here. Please dry. At the bottom of all these packages. Cover up your, and bring it out a little bit on both sides. So All right, and then I'm gonna get my white. Clean most of that out. Get my white. Tap over the top. And just kind of push that around on the bottom. Actually, just do that before it dries, so you don't want that bottom to have a flat edge there. So push that around. You could leave it that like shadowy color too, like in some places. I might, you know, like in the darker areas, leave it a little bit more blue. Pretty, I like it. Go. And if you don't have that background color saved, you know, just try to get as close to it as you can when you do this. So let's add our highlights and our bulbs, and we'll be just about done. And you can add lights like we did last time. We added all these glowing lights and things and snow, so you could add more snow and some of that to it as well if you want to. I'm probably going to add a little bit of snow, but not as much as I did last year. So but I do need to add my highlights to my bulbs, so I brought out all these colors and I'm probably not going to use all of them. That's all right, it happens. All right, so I'm gonna, these ornaments kind of have, what was that?
I don't know.
That's what it was been doing. Told you about. Or she who shall not be named.
Is it muted yet?
Okay. It is. Well, no, it's not muted.
Well,
It's,
the microphone is.
I don't know why she. Our voice activated thing. She controls the lights, but if we say the wrong thing during the show, she'll think we're talking to her, so we turn her off during the shows. But it's been telling me that I need to order batteries today for something that we don't need to order batteries for, so I don't really understand what it's trying to tell me. We're trying to communicate, and we're not really doing a very good job of it.
And
I'm trying to tell it to stop.
And how does it even know
stop.
that we have that? Is what well, I guess it is hooked up to it, so it knows that we have them.
Yeah. And it was funny because it was like, tell me, you know, like it was doing that noise several times today. So I finally was like, you know who, what is that noise? And she's like, playing noise by, so, no. Stop. What is the noise? What is the noise that you just played? The noise that you just played is, you know, and she's like giving me the definition of some weird obscure thing. And I'm like, no, that's not okay. Like, it took me about 5 minutes to finally get her to tell me. And then it was like, would you like to order XCLV 3522? Just say, order X3C 5000, you know, like it was like this long number. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm not, even if I was writing it down, I don't think I would have been able to write it down fast enough to order it. Or it was like the most ridiculous conversation with her today ever. So, and then Mark was like, no, we don't need those. So I'm glad I didn't try to order the XC 3527 batteries, whatever it was. Oh, well. Okay. So just adding the highlights here. Adding the highlights. If they look too much, add a little bit of your mid-tone in there. You can add back in your dark tones too, whatever you need to do to kind of get it looking good. But that looks pretty good. And I'm going to add my Sorry, I know I'm doing stuff and I'm talking about other things. I'm going to add my red to that color that I was just using for my highlights, because the yellow is, you know, adjacent, red adjacent. So I'm going to add a little bit of that yellow tone in there for our highlights. And I find like just boom, dot, 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 you know, dot, 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 like doing less on these is more, it kind of looks better. So I just kind of don't even really go to the very edge. Like I leave the edge a little bit dark. Because even though your light's going to be shining on something, an object, it's still, if it's rounded, the back side of it, you see my hand here where the light is shining on it, but the back side of my finger here is darker. And that's the same thing with the balls. Even if our light is shining on it straight from here, unless it's backlight and the light's kind of coming around it and making the inside dark, the sides are going to be darker than where the highlight is. So you're going to want to go just inside the highlight for these. Does that make sense? Or just inside the edge for your highlights. And then I'm going to dab in some bright. And kind of in the same general area. It doesn't have to be exact. There we go. Got some shiny Christmas balls. And then let's do ornaments. Sorry. Mark doesn't like me calling it that.
No, you can call that. That's fine. I just laugh.
He's just like a 12-year-old.
Ornaments.
What were we watching the baking show the other day?
Oh gosh.
That was so funny. We love that British baking show, and that lady was talking about stuffing the piping the donuts with cream. Oh my gosh. The men were they couldn't hold themselves together.
Excuse me, you were laughing too.
I was laughing. Yeah, it was hysterical. So funny. And she's like, looks over after she's done saying all this stuff, and she's like, dudes, no. Grow up. Okay, there we go. Now we got them really nice and shiny, all this beautiful white highlights. We can put some like nice white shine on our ribbons if we want to, here and there. Top corners of our boxes, wherever we want to add a little extra highlight. There we go. Looking really good. All right, then let's get I'll go ahead and just use this brush. Use a little bit of that bluish from the snow with my white, so just slightly blue, white-ish, and I'm going to add it to my tree here and there, just on my branches. And I'm just going to kind of add it in little clusters. So I'm going to kind of go where I've already kind of added my highlights and just try to think about where the snow might be nestled in somewhere. You know, in our photograph, it's kind of doing that, some little areas. So again, don't cover your dark, whatever you do. Angela, I'm talking to you. Sorry, I had to get mean. She wouldn't listen to me.
Let's be more specific. Angela Anderson. I can imagine Angela's watching this video right now. Like, what?
Not you. It wasn't your problem. It's me. I do it. Okay, so right in here. And it doesn't even have to look like a branch, you know. It can just be like snow clusters. So, you know, just a little bit of dab of something there, here and there. Think about where it's kind of sticking out. I like it. That blue really helps to make it not too stark, because otherwise it would look a little too out of place, you know. And it's nice to have a little bit different tone than that yellowish tone from our popcorn too. So it's a good thing to think And if you still need to do a thing for your tree, you can do that here. No, too, if you need to. I think it's okay. I think it's hidden enough. I like it.
A trunk?
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Yeah, I think the trunk is okay. Alright. Do I need lights?
No.
Nothing else? We're good? Let's add some more splattery snow type of everything. So I'm going to use the Zinc White that's been sitting out over here drying. You can get out your... No, I can't use that. It's hard right out. I take it back. So let me know in the comments. I noticed we've been having some kind of a slowdown. I think a lot of it has to do with COVID and, you know, people getting out and doing stuff. And I'm sure we'll kind of start to see an upswing once the winter hits here in the U.S. And people are doing more stuff indoors. But I'd kind of like to get an idea of the kind of things that you'd like to see moving forward, you know, with the, if you'd like to see more Christmas all the way through December, or if you just want to see regular paintings. Whoops, that was way too much. Regular paintings, or if you want to see more seasonal things, or, you know, what kind of themes, just kind of leave me comments, and I'd love to kind of get your ideas for where you're thinking, you know, if you like the Christmas stuff, or if not. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I just kind of like to know sort of what you're hoping to see out of our channel, especially next year. We've got most of our scheduled out for December already. Figured out most of what I want to do, but I still have time to change a few things. So if there's stuff I want to hear.
Hey, real quick, while I was out drying, did you discuss any of the upcoming sale?
I did not. I'm glad you mentioned that. Our Etsy shop is closed right now. We are adding all of the recent paintings from, well, we did a big sale, I think it was in May last year, I want to say.
At some point.
Some point last year. And pretty much our Etsy store has been that stuff, the leftover stuff that we didn't sell right away. Okay, this is way too thick. Way too thick. So I'm just going to spray. We're going to be updating
the shop with paintings.
Yes, with paintings from our more recent paintings. So a lot more fun stuff that we've been doing this year. Some of our Patreon stuff, some of our just most of the stuff that was, especially all of the 9x12s, pretty much anything that was 9x12 size is definitely going to be in the sale, unless it's something that I gave to my sons, which there are a few that I gave away to them. So
Cashmere will not be for sale.
No, she will not. Neither will Fitzpickle. Despite what Mark was hoping.
Or the tank.
Or the, yeah. Oh, Cashmere, the cat, the picture. I thought you were talking about the cat. But yes, I'm using my Q-tip here to do some bigger snowflakes here.
You'll be announcing it in the
my newsletter
and all that stuff?
The newsletter will have a preview of the ones that are for sale. We'll be posting it on my Instagram and social media as well. So if you're following me on there, we'll have more info soon.
And we're going to try to get it out before
it'll be
the holidays.
November 16th.
Ooh.
November 16th to December 1st. That'll be the sale. It'll be 20% off my normal prices. So we're doing a big sale. And patrons get an extra 5% off. So we'll have an extra coupon for them to use as well. So zoom out here. Get the whole thing. I like how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty nice. I'm pretty proud of that. I got done with this one last year and was kind of like, I took out all the, see what I did? I took out all the dark. last year. So I did a little bit better this year with it, I think. I like it. And it looks like our reference photo, so not bad. Patting myself on the back right now. I do like the popcorn too. I think that added a nice little bit. And I think maybe just to add a little extra flair, I'm going to add some of that cranberries. So I'm going to add some red, dark red, just in here and there between my popcorns. And Mark's just handed me this just in. Ta-da! Mark's contribution for the evening. Stickman. So what I do is I will add, I don't know if I like that red. I'm just going to dab off some of that.
That's for Stickman and Super Chat.
Super Chat and Stickman. Oh, I like it. I like the cowbell for Stickman too. Super Chat. Excellent. All right, so we'll do a tree for Stickman here. He'll give him a Christmas tree. I'm going to use the fan brush. Why not? Show you how to do a tree with the fan brush. Nice. I've done one before with the fan brush. Several times, actually, not just once. But let's start with the thing here. And then he can be decorating the tree this month. So we'll have him this month and next month. We'll just give him stuff to put on his tree. Depending on whatever we're painting, we always kind of try to theme it around that and give old Stickman something to do. So one of our first ones that we did, we were doing red shoes, and I gave him
that was
some red shoes. That was for New Year's, yeah. And that was, somebody just recently mentioned it, how it was her favorite one. She just died laughing when I did that. So, Basima.
It was good.
Yes. I was like, okay, I need to bring it back. If people are still talking about it years later, we need to bring old Stickman back. So here he is.
Back by popular demand.
Back by popular demand. And we'll just give him a plain tree, and we'll add some stuff to it as we go on this season. Yeah. It'll be fun. He even looks like he's like reaching up for his tree there.
Right. So real quick, our super chatters.
Yes.
So tonight we had Carol, and she says, "Just because I care."
Oh, thank you, Carol.
Thank you so much.
So sweet.
And then we had from Angela.
Nice.
And she says, "Thank you so much. I appreciate your patience."
I wasn't talking to you when I was telling you.
Right, yeah, and that was well in advance of you calling her out. So.
Sorry, Angie.
And then from Cindy says, "Merry Christmas."
Oh, thank you, Cindy.
And then from Christy says, "You're such an amazing talent and huge inspiration. I'm learning so much from your tutorials. Thank you for all you do."
Wow, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Christy.
Very sweet.
I do what I can. So thank you to Christy and Cindy and Angela and Carol.
Yes. Nice. Very sweet. All right. See what I'm doing? I need to stop.
Right. So while she's messing with it, just
covering up all my dark areas. No. Here, let me get my dark.
We'll remind everybody about patreon.com/AngelaFineArt. Over there, you got traceables and bonus contents and all that at different levels. So check that out.
Yes, I already got the traceable for this done. So it doesn't have the popcorn, but it has everything else that we put on here today. I actually added a star too, but I decided not to put it on here because I did one last year, and I was like, well, if I did one last year, we'll just do it without it this year. Why not do something different?
And then also over on thankfulart.com, that's where you can find the way to sign up for the newsletter, to keep in touch, especially with the sale coming up. And also other informative, great things, links and stuff like that too.
Yes. Yeah. And we are redoing our websites, so stay tuned for that. We've got all kinds of really fun stuff coming up with our website.
That's right.
I'm really excited for that. And my brother Josh is the one doing it, which is even better. Because then I can bug him from now on. He's like, he doesn't even know what he's in for. He's now I'm excited that he had time to do it. He's a really talented web designer, and I wanted him to do my website for a while, but I didn't have the resources to pay him what his normal fees were, and I wasn't going to ask him for a family discount, and so we finally kind of saved up for it, and
thanks to
our patrons,
yes,
and super chatters, and so yeah, I'm super excited. You guys are going to help us get a new website. It's going to be really exciting.
We just got another super chatter in.
What?
From Will, and Will says appreciate the tutorials, learning a lot from Angela.
Oh, thank you, Will.
Wow, he specifically said Angela.
He was not going to let you steal my glory this time.
Okay, I understand.
That
okay.
was good, Will. Thank you. I appreciate you calling Mark out that way.
Yeah.
All right, I'm fiddling now. I'm going to stop. This is the point where I would stop and look at it, set it out for a couple days, decide, and fiddle and maybe change small things with it. But since we are live and I don't have that option, you probably don't want to sit around with me on the couch and watch TV for...
Well, first we're going to make tacos.
True.
And then we're going to watch TV.
Then we're going to watch
Oak Island.
Yeah, Mark's like, hurry up.
So hope everybody gives it a thumbs up and subscribes to the channel if they haven't already.
Yes.
There's over 500 videos free on YouTube.
Yeah, I think we counted, 540 or something?
I forget.
You had a,
I have the list.
Number.
I don't have it open. But there are some that I would even skip because they're pretty bad. But
hey now.
We have come a long ways through learning how to do this and through the incredible support of our patrons that have allowed us to invest in some better equipment and lighting and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yes. Better microphones. That was the number one. Our older videos have terrible sound. Horrible. So yeah, you guys are very sweet that have stuck with us all these years and that have supported our channel and become patrons or done super chats or whatever, bought paintings, bought from our affiliate links. All of that helps to keep our videos free and coming, and I love doing these. I hope you guys like them too, so I appreciate all the fun comments and nice feedback that I get. I read my comments, I really do.
And also from super chat supporters like Sally, who just donated, says, welcome back, Stickman.
Oh. All right, here, we'll give Stickman another little, there you go.
There we go.
Stickman, you got a super chat. High five. High five.
Good job.
All right, thanks guys so much. Mark's gonna go watch some Oak Island. I'm gonna be skeptical while he's watching Oak Island. Unsupportive.
Make comments.
Make unsupportive skeptical comments in the background. Grumbles. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching so much. Bye.